you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, Opposition MP Mika Lawere keeps his seat in Parliament. No municipal elections yet, says local government minister. And US Naval Hospital ship USNS Mercy starts Pacific Partnership 2015 in Suva. Sudelpa MP Mikaele Lawere will keep his parliament seat. This after High Court Judge Justice David Alfred dismissed the petition by the Attorney General challenging the awarding of the seat to Lawere, who held a public office at the time of the appointment. Maggie Boyle with the story.
A precedent has been set. In dismissing the AG's petition against the Electoral Commission this afternoon, High Court Judge Justice David Alfred, in his ruling, relied on the definition of the term available. He summarised that clearly the period in which a candidate who held public office had to resign to contest the election ran only up until the results of the general election. Justice Alfred determined that under the electoral decree, Section 24, subsection 2, the clause was invalid after the life of the election. He also determined that the disqualification of a candidate did not mention that of a public office holder under Section 56, subsection 2, A to H, which the Electoral Commission used to govern its decision.
I think from the outset, it was never about who's going to win. I think each party recognized that there needed to be clarification, and we are grateful that that clarification came in the form of this judgment. Obviously, the judge had spent a good lot of time in thinking it through, and it will give constitutional lawyers substance to actually now have some reference point when they advise on the applications and different provisions of the Constitution. So really, at the end of the day, we are all winners. The Electoral Commission, the Attorney General, and Mr. Lawere.
For MP Mikaele Lawere, it was a sigh of relief outside of court.
After all this while, we're grateful that justice has prevailed. And I thank the Lord for what has happened today.
The judge in his ruling noted that given this is the first case of its kind, that costs would be for each party to bear. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Fiji has received an achievement award from the Food and Agriculture Organization for the Fijian government's commitment to addressing world hunger and food production. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama, who was in Rome attending the 39th session of the FAO conference, was presented the award today. Akusita Tale reports the award recognizes Fiji achieving one of the United Nations Millennium Development Goals of cutting hunger by half before its 2015 deadline.
Fiji is one of only 38 countries to achieve its goal to cut hunger by half in 2012, 3 years before the deadline. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says the achievement highlights the will of the government to commit to stronger partnerships with organizations such as the FAO.
Fiji is committed to maintaining this momentum. Fiji's own experience have given us an improved understanding of the reasons for hunger, food insecurity and malnutrition, and thus gave us the confidence necessary to step forward and improve.
Bainimarama adds one of the most important areas of understanding is the creation and maintenance of sustainable agriculture. He says improving the collection and analysis of agricultural data is a crucial tool in monitoring the development processes.
While Fiji has made great strides in recent years to eradicate hunger, my government won't rest until malnourishment is at zero. There is more work to be done, and we must not stop.
This year marks the completion of the monitoring period for the Millennium Development Goals. They will soon be replaced by Sustainable Development Goals currently being negotiated by the international community. The SDGs will forge a global commitment that goes beyond the reduction of hunger, seeking instead to totally eradicate it. Ako si Tatalei, FBC News.
There will be no municipal council elections for special administrators or mayors until the Local Government Act is reviewed. Eleanor Turangaivu reports.
Minister for Local Government Parveen Bala says there is no secret about the government's intention to review the Local Government Act before holding municipal elections. A team will carry out public consultations to create a report to be tabled in Parliament calling for the review.
I don't think we can have a time frame for this because let's not forget that this act is of 1972 Act. And my being in council for last 20 years, we have been asking for this review and reform, but nobody was basically listening to us.
The local government minister says the whole idea for reviewing the Local Government Act is to see how councils can have more say on the development of their municipalities. Lautoka, Singatoka and Tavua currently do not have a special administrator.
I can tell you that even without the special administrators, the operation for municipalities is well under control by the CEOs. So I don't really see at this point in time that we need to have special administrators because what we're doing now, we oversee all municipal councils from the ministry level.
Bala says there is a team that looks after the operation of municipal councils. The last municipal elections were held in 2005. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
The U.S. Naval hospital ship USNS Mercy is now docked at the King's Wharf in Suva for its first mission port visit under the Pacific Partnership 2015. Watisoni Rakanroka took a tour on board ship today and files this report.
The 900-feet-long vessel with an unmistakable Red Cross along her side is one of 2 hospital ships in the U.S. Navy. The USNS Mercy's main mission is to provide medical services to disaster-stricken countries around the world. It's in Fiji for 2 weeks for its next mission, the Pacific Partnership 2015, with over 1,000 crew.
Obviously some Fijian people are already on board, but I have Australians, New Zealanders, Canadians, Japanese, several doctors. This is a multinational operation.
The ship is fully equipped with updated medical facilities with the capability to treat 1,000 patients at a time. There is a 50-bed emergency room with oxygen machines. There is also a sophisticated radiology department, which has a Wi-Fi portable X-ray machines, CT scan machines, fluoroscopy room and ultrasound units. The ship boasts 11 operating rooms and 1 radiology suite with different surgical specialty rooms. It has 4 intensive care units, each with more than 20 beds. There is also a decon station to decontaminate patients who have been exposed radiological and biological chemicals.
We're going to see such incredible capability on this ship. It's really built for a response in crisis, but we're using it, as the doctor said today, for partnership to develop capacity.
The USNS Mercy has 2 hospital tinder boats. They each carry about 100 patients, and it gives them another option to get them on board. There is also a flight deck which contains a helipad for 2 helicopters.
This is where the helo lands. As the mission commander mentioned a while ago, there's 3 ways where we can bring patients into the boat. One via the helicopter, into that hallway, down the elevators.
This is the first time in 9 years a U.S. naval boat has come to Fiji. Before coming to Fiji, the USNS Mercy was in Pearl Harbor as part of its 4-month humanitarian mission around the South Pacific. Watisoni Rekonroka, FBC News.
85-year-old William Apted has been fined $6,000 and disqualified from driving for 2 years for causing the death of a 4-year-old girl in Raiwanga last year. Apted pleaded guilty to 1 count of dangerous driving and 2 counts of dangerous driving occasioning grievous harm. He is to pay the fine within a month in default of committal for 600 days. Apted is also to surrender his driving license today and be medically cleared before he drives again. Still to come on FBC News, Ministry of Health restocks on free medicine supply.
Nanu males tale manga boleh boleh sembati mai hena gono baru taki na yan robongi ke vika na mal to mai buga tali tu na bi serre wara ke muni na gono baru taki go na yan robongi enam pula FM nimbolo benaka oya vika na isoro ranyo na to mani mai na vito ne ka biki na tini keruan ng bongi lebu ena gono baru taki sekoya na yan robongi enam pula FM enam bandua ena serre.
Fiji Police Force says they have intelligence of hard drugs being available in the country. Chief of Intelligence and Investigations ACP Henry Brown says they are still working on how they can successfully prosecute the cases.
Always is intelligence of little amounts of methamphetamine and other party drugs available on the ground. But we have never confirmed that through evidence that it is either manufactured here.
2 men from Suva were charged last week with unlawful possession of illicit drugs. Police found what is believed to be methamphetamine in their homes during raids related to a spate of recent robberies in the southern and the eastern divisions. The Ministry of Health is restocking its supply of free medicine to pharmacies. Shireen Lata reports 4,000 people are already benefiting from the scheme.
20 out of 72 medications provided under the free medicine scheme will soon be supplied to the selected private pharmacies by the ministry following a shortage of supply.
10 of them will be in by end of June, and the other 10, this is off-the-shelf buying, like cough mixtures and all that. So we will yet have to supply that. But otherwise, the essential medications are there at the pharmacy.
Assistant Minister for Health Veena Bhatnagar says the ministry is receiving great response from the public in regards to the registration for this scheme. However, there is still some confusion.
Patients are unable to understand that the pharmacies will only be dispensing those medications which are on the list. Anything apart from that will have to be paid for.
12,000 applications are yet to be processed by the ministry, and Bhatnagar is urging others to apply as well. Registration forms are available at all divisional hospitals, sub-divisional hospitals and main health centers. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
The Water Authority of Fiji is working towards implementing a trade waste policy with the Ministry of Infrastructure. Trade waste is waste from industries and restaurants that goes through the authority's sewer system. According to the Water Authority of Fiji, trade waste is contributing to the bad odour emanating from their sewer system. Savaira Tamboa has more.
The Water Authority of Fiji is concerned at the amount of uncontrolled trade waste that is coming through their wastewater system at 4 Miles Bridge, Nambua, outside Suva. CEO Opete Rawai is requesting these companies to install pre-treatment devices in their systems as their trade waste contribute to the audio problem coming out from the system, especially during the dry weather.
We'd like to see the industries and the manufacturing companies who indiscriminately dump their waste to our wastewater systems to have pre-treatment devices, before the actual the wastewater or the byproducts of their manufacturing process is discharged. There needs to be some pre-treatment devices installed.
FBC News had approached some of the restaurant owners, but they declined to comment as talks are still in progress with the Water Authority. Rawai says the trade waste policy will allow manufacturing companies and industries to install their own pre-treatment devices.
That will also reduce the loading at our wastewater treatment plants. And this has to happen throughout the country, in all our cities and towns.
The Water Authority will soon be calling for tenders for the realignment of their old sewer pipes, especially in the high-density city areas. Savaira Tamboa, FBC News.
Homeland Security has signed an agreement with a Chinese company to provide manpower and security to their development projects in Fiji. Savaira Tambo again with more details.
Multi-million-dollar property development, New Era Development Limited from China will be undertaking a few development projects in the country soon. They will be working with Homeland Security following the signing of an MOU today.
So I want to build one tourism city, both for both countries. both also good for the the local. We attract the tourism all come to Fiji to spend their money, spend their time, but we must have some tourism hotel here.
Homelink National Manager Uleya Sisuka says this is a great opportunity for members of the security company, as many of them are territorial force members.
And we take up the challenge after a few discussions, and now it's 4 weeks we're together and things become solid, and we have agreed to, beside New Era, employing us in security projects all over Fiji and other projects to come. We have formed a joint venture company that deals with tourism on its own.
New Era Development Limited is expected to build a China tourism city in Lomolomo, Lautoka. Company Director Stanley Gian says this will not only provide employment for locals but also attract tourists to Fiji. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie.
Nakazaki and good evening. Coming up, Frank Farina urges under-20 side to maintain its playing standards, and GPL winner could be decided this weekend. Details after the break.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 का ये प्रसारण आपके लिए कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत है हम कर रहे हैं। याद रखते हैं अभी से लेकर रात 12 तक यह सिलसिला हमारा और आपका चलता रहेगा। दृष्टिकोण में आपका हम स्वागत कर रहे हैं। दृष्टिकोण के तुरंत बाद आगे बढ़ते हैं कार्यक्रम में। इधर कहते हैं कि गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, दर्द बहुत था दिल में पर हम रोए नहीं, कोई नहीं हमारा जो पूछे हमसे जाग रहे हो किसके लिए या किसी के लिए सोए नहीं। याद रखते हैं गीत संगीत का तकाजा आपके लिए रात 12 तक आपको हम सोने नहीं देंगे। महकती रातें हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक रात 7 से लेकर 12 के बीच रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Coach Frank Farina has urged the Vodafone Fiji under-20 team to maintain its standard of play after its FIFA World Cup outing. Farina's contract expires at the end of the month and hopes the team continues to improve from where it left off. Josephine Avula reports.
Content with their achievement at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, the players arrived home with smiles on their faces. Under-20 coach Frank Farina says the team can continue to improve even without his leadership.
Well, this team I think can prepare along that way. I finish up at the end of June, so I'm back here for about 5 days, 6 days just to put the final report in from the World Cup and the lead up. And then I fly back to Brisbane, play a bit of golf, but my contract finishes at the end of June.
He refused to comment on the matter when asked on whether he would stay if offered the chance.
I'm not going to answer that. There's incumbent people in there, and for me it's disrespectful to talk about someone else's position. The boys' performance was fantastic. A very good side from CONCACAF. It's a great achievement.
Fiji won one of its 3 pool games at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in New Zealand. Josephine Avula, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Vodafone Fiji Under-20 football side was greeted by a number of fans upon their arrival at the Nandi International Airport. Family members and team supporters turned up to congratulate and get a closer glimpse of their favourite football players after its historical outing at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in New Zealand. Meanwhile, the Fiji football senior team will take part in the first Four Nations Friendship Cup, which kicks off in Port Vila Stadium in Vanuatu this Saturday. Fiji will compete against senior teams from New Caledonia, Solomon Islands and Vanuatu in a round-robin based format. Fiji plays its first match Saturday at 4 p.m. against Solomon Islands. The Fiji team is yet to be finalized but is expected to leave for Vanuatu on Friday. The winner of the Rio Galaxy Premier League may well be decided after this weekend's round of matches. Nandi has the opportunity to take out the title if it defeats Lautoka on Friday night. That match kicks off at 7:30 p.m. at Prince Charles Park, while at the same time Ba hosts Nandronga at Govind Park. In the lone match on Saturday, Rio travels to the north to face Lambasa. On Sunday, Tailebu Naita Siri will host Lautoka at Ratudakambao Park at 3 p.m., while at the same time Ba plays Suva at the ANZ Stadium. The Namosi rugby side will face its toughest task so far in the Skipper Cup competition when they play Naita Siri in the 4th round this weekend. The match kicks off at 3 p.m. this Saturday at Nausori's Ratudakambau Park. In other matches on Saturday, Tavua will host Nandronga at Gavi Park. Suva battles Ovalau at ANZ Stadium. Tailevu travels to Theodore Park to face Vatukola, while in a double-header clash at Prince Charles Park, Lautoka plays Madhawata and Nandi will take on Northland. Namosi, Suva and Nandi remain undefeated in the competition. World Surfing League Fiji Men's Pro defending champion Gabriel Medina will be out to retain his title at this year's competition in Tavurua. The Brazilian says competing with other surfers from around the world and the pressure of winning the title again this year will be a challenge.
I hope I can repeat this year, you know. I feel good here. I've got some good boards. So, yeah, I'm looking for a good result.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Men's Pro competition has been put on hold for a couple of days due to small and insufficient surf. A total of 34 surfers will be competing at the Fiji Men's Pro Surfing League. The Lincoln quarter-mile drag race will be held in Pacific Harbour this Sunday. The race was scheduled to be held 2 weeks ago, but was postponed due to unfavourable weather conditions. With the rainy weather expected to clear, the race has been given the go-ahead on Sunday.
We all know that we cannot race on a wet track, so the executive got together and decided that we would postpone, and I'm very happy to say that the race has been confirmed for this Sunday. So the Lincoln quarter-mile drag will be held this Sunday at Nanuku airstrip in Pacific Harbour.
The event starts at 10 a.m. That was your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Fiji Airways has appointed Mohan Chandra, an aviation industry veteran, as its new regional general manager for New Zealand. He takes up the role previously held by the late Shannon Curry. Chandra will be responsible for sales across New Zealand for Fiji Airways, as well as managing agent and supplier relationships. Fiji Airways has also appointed Melanie Watson as manager sales. This role will assist the regional general manager and focus on business growth. Fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country today, with some showers prevailing over the Lau Group. A trough of low pressure lies slow-moving over Solomon Islands and extends southeastwards over Vanuatu. Another trough affects Tuvalu, Tokelau and northern Cooks. A broad easterly wind flow prevails over most Pacific Island countries. Temperatures: the coolest place today was Savu Savu with 28 degrees. Bar was the warmest with 32 degrees. And tomorrow's forecast: some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers. And the further outlook for Wednesday: fine apart from brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. And recapping our main stories. Opposition MP Mika Lewere keeps his seat in Parliament. No municipal elections yet, says local government minister. And U.S. Naval hospital ship USNS Mercy starts Pacific Partnership 2015 in Suva. Now to the results of last week's poll question. Our question was, should retail opening hours all over Fiji be extended? 83% voted yes. Now to our poll question this week, we're asking, should primary school students be allowed to use the internet outside of school? Visit our FBC website, www.fbc.com.fj, to have your say. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You can also find us on YouTube, Fbctv 2011. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Have a safe and lovely evening. Good night.
Great words there from Lucky Dube and Baban. I hope you enjoyed that number. Different colors just for you. On Gold FM, only the classic hits. Louise with you on the Center Show. Well, thank you so much for the sweet company. This is Alana Miles, one of my favorites, and Black Velvet for you. Hi there. Join me on the Center Show every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the best sounds on Gold FM. Only the classic hits.